My mother taught me one thing growing up: act like you're the prize and never lower your price tag. Back in college, I had a copycat roommate who bought the exact same clothes as me. She'd purposely ask if they made her look fat, fishing for reassurance. I just shook my head. I wouldn't know. My body looks incredible and everything. After I started working, a male co-worker hit on me. I brushed him off, saying I was already taken. He looked at me with puppy dog eyes and asked if I'd consider him if we ever broke up. I scoffed. Guess you don't love me enough. If you did, you'd be begging to be my side piece right now. Because my standards were so high, people talked trash behind my back. They called me arrogant, said I didn't know my place, and asked who the hell I thought I was. Until one day a date heard about my attitude problem. Instead of running, he immediately asked to bring me home to meet his parents for the holidays. My mom is addicted to misery, he said, looking desperate. She refuses to enjoy anything and keeps saying she doesn't deserve nice things. It's driving me insane. If you can cure her of this poverty mindset, I'll give you anything you want. Now that was a fresh request. I patted my chest confidently. Don't worry, consider it done. In the coffee shop, Ethan sat across from me, looking like he was carrying the weight of the world on his designer-clad shoulders. I'm sorry, Ruby. This coffee shop is a bit basic. I hope you don't mind, he said nervously. I glanced around the interior. It is a bit mediocre, as long as you're aware of that. Usually when I pulled this attitude on blind dates, the guys would immediately get defensive and ask to split the bill. But Ethan's eyes lit up, like I had just given him a winning lottery ticket. Ruby, I won't beat around the bush. I've heard about your reputation from the matchmaker. You fit my requirements perfectly. I was wondering if you'd be willing to come home with me for Christmas to meet my mother. That was moving way too fast. Rejected him without a second thought. Ethan's face fell, then he let out a bitter laugh. Look, I'll be honest. I run a multi-billion-dollar company, but my mother is torturing me to death. I need someone like you to fix her now. I was interested. I let him explain. It turned out Ethan lost his dad when he was a kid. They lived in a trailer park in the middle of nowhere, bullied by everyone. His mom developed a hoarding habit and extreme frugality to survive. Every penny had to be split in two. Back when they were poor, it was a survival skill. But now Ethan had worked his way up through big tech, started his own firm, and was a legitimate tycoon. But his mom, Linda, was still living like they were destitute. When Ethan took her to Europe, she refused to spend money on food. She brought a suitcase full of stale crackers and ate them with hot water. In the hotel room, Ethan bought her premium vitamins and expensive steaks. She let them rot in the fridge because she couldn't bear to eat them, then cooked the spoiled food for Ethan, landing him in the hospital with gastroenteritis for 2 weeks. The mentally exhausted Ethan asked her why she did this. She just looked pitiful and said, "Those good things are for you. I'm just an old woman. I don't deserve such nice things." He's a CEO and his mom acts like a beggar. It was bad for his image. But every time Ethan tried to correct her, the extended family accused him of being an ungrateful son. That's why I want to take you home. Only someone with your confidence can help me. Now, Ruby, please. If you can cure my mom of this poverty mindset, I'll give you $1 million. Wait, 5 million? What do you say? I wasn't just doing it for the money. Honestly, I genuinely wanted to help. I can help you, I said, patting my chest. But if your mom has a heart attack from my spending, I'm not responsible. Ethan nodded vigorously. If she dies of anger, so be it. It's better than watching her die from food poisoning because she ate a sprouting potato. Talk is cheap. I made him put it in writing. After signing the contract, Ethan immediately took me to the mall. We bought a whole new wardrobe, all high-end brands on his black card. The day before Christmas Eve, Ethan and I drove to his place. After he made it big, the first thing he did was buy a massive mansion in the suburbs and move his mom in. We stood at the front door. Ethan took a deep breath. Brace yourself, Ruby. He pushed the door open. Instead of luxury decor, The place was packed floor to ceiling with cardboard boxes, empty plastic bottles, and stacks of old newspapers. There was a faint lingering smell of garbage in the air. My smile froze. Living in a multi-million-dollar mansion and turning it into a recycling center. The old lady had a unique hobby. I'll give her that. Now you see what I'm dealing with. Ethan whispered. Ethan, you're back. Linda, Ethan's mother, came running out from the depths of the hoard. She was dressed in rags, wearing a free apron she probably got from a gas station giveaway. She didn't look like the owner of the house. She looked like the help mom. Let me introduce you. This is my girlfriend, Ruby. I flashed a dazzling smile. Hi, Linda. Here's a gift I brought you. Oh, you shouldn't have spent the money. What do I need this for? I'm just an old lady. I can't use this fancy stuff. Come in. Come in. Linda led us inside, talking as she walked. Sorry, the house is a bit messy. Don't mind it. Imagine this big, completely used to store junk. It was a crime against real estate. I wasn't going to hold back. I leaned into the role. It is messy. If I didn't know better, I think I walked into a landfill. I turned to Ethan. Looks like your family doesn't welcome me very much. House is full of trash. Are you trying to intimidate me? Believe it or not, I'll call my daddy right now. Ethan and I had agreed on a backstory. I was the daughter of a major business partner. Only money and power would make them listen. Ethan looked at his mom sternly. Mom, what is going on? Didn't I tell you to stop dragging junk into the house? It's not junk. These can be sold for money. They are treasures you young people just don't know how to save. Linda whispered, looking aggrieved. Call someone to clean this up immediately. I am not spending Christmas in a dumpster. I said, pulling out my phone to call a professional cleaning crew. No. You can't throw these away. It's money. Linda rushed forward to stop me. Ethan held her back. Mom, this is Mr. Stone's daughter. Do not offend her. Her father could bankrupt me with one sentence. Then the mansion goes to the bank. And you'll be picking through trash for the rest of your life. The cleaners arrived quickly with a large truck. A team worked from dusk until dawn, finally clearing out every piece of junk. Linda stood aside looking like her soul had been sucked out, staring blankly at the empty, clean mansion. I glanced at her and decided to double down. Linda, I'll let it slide this time. But don't bring trash home again. When I marry into this family, the house must remain spotless. I have zero tolerance for dirt. This is rebellion, Linda muttered. The daughter-in-law is walking all over the mother-in-law. I pretended not to hear. We were just getting started. Dinner time arrived quickly. Ethan had warned me, only eat the green vegetables. Don't touch anything else. I sat at the table. At first glance, the Christmas Eve dinner looked decent meat, veggies, seafood. But upon closer inspection, it was a disaster. In the center of the table was a massive king crab, but the shell was turning black and the meat inside looked mushy. It was clearly spoiled. There were several bowls of unidentified gray sludge left over, stewed and stewed for God knows how many days. The fish, which should be the centerpiece, was just a skeleton with barely any meat left on it. I even put it on the table, perhaps sensing I wasn't to be trifled with. Linda spun the lazy Susan, moving the meat dishes in front of me. I couldn't bear to eat this king crab for the longest time. Now that you're here, you eat it. I'll just have some leftovers. Mom, that pork cock is from last week. Why haven't you thrown it out? It's gone bad. Don't eat it. Ethan tried to take the bowl, but Linda snatched it back. I kept it in the fridge. It's not bad. You guys eat the fresh food. I'll eat this. Except for the stir-fried spinach. Nothing on this table was fresh. I rolled my eyes, grabbed Ethan's phone, and ordered a luxury holiday feast worth $10,000 on DoorDash. Then I stood up, grabbed the king crab, and dumped it straight into the trash can. Linda, if you hate me, just say so. Who are you trying to poison with this zombie crab? Your son is a multi-millionaire CEO, and his girlfriend's first meal here is little garbage. Wait until people hear about this. Behind his back, I started the fire and Ethan found the flames. Exactly. Mom, are you my biological mother or what are you? Are you trying to break us up? I'm 30 years old. I finally found someone and you want me to die single? Is that it? Linda looked heartbroken, staring longingly at the trash can. She actually reached out to fish it back. That crab is good stuff. You can't throw it away. I've had it in the freezer for a couple of years. It's definitely still edible. A couple of years. Good lord. She was basically manufacturing biological weapons. I slammed my hand on the table. Great, you feed me dead crab from years ago. You want to kill me? What is wrong with you, Ethan? I'm breaking up with you, Mom. Throw away those leftovers right now. Look, Ruby is angry. How am I supposed to explain this to her father? Ethan grabbed the bowls of fudge and dumped them. I helped him to ensure the old lady wouldn't pick them out of the bin. Later, I hopped a loogie and spit right on top of the pile in the trash. That sealed the deal. Even she couldn't eat it now. Soon the luxury feast was delivered. Looking at the steaming fish, lobster and prime rib, the old lady sighed. Sigh. You guys eat. I'll just have some crackers. I'm an old woman about to die anyway. Why waste good food on me? I didn't bother coddling her. Suit yourself. But whatever isn't finished at this meal goes straight into the trash. I don't do leftovers. It's unhygienic. When I move in, this habit stops. Ethan looked at me with puppy dog eyes, completely enchanted. Yes, honey. Whatever you say. Hearing that, Linda dropped the crackers. She grabbed her chopsticks and started shoveling food into her mouth, terrified that the expensive food would end up in the bin. Linda, eat more lobster. Otherwise I'm tossing it, I said, running the lobster thermidor toward her. And this ginseng chicken soup. Drink up, Ethan, and I can't finish it. Usually eating rotten sludge. Suddenly faced with a fresh 5-star meal. The old lady actually started enjoying herself. By the end, she even cracked a smile. I watched her closely. It was the first time I'd seen her face relax since I arrived. Her eyes, usually clouded with worry and self-deprecation, actually lit up for a moment. She reached for another piece of lobster, then stopped herself. I shouldn't be eating this. This is too expensive. I'm just an old woman who doesn't deserve such luxury. I rolled my eyes. Linda, if you say one more time that you don't deserve good things, I'm going to order another $10,000 worth of food and make you watch me throw it all away. Linda's hand trembled. She quickly stuffed the lobster into her mouth, chewing furiously as if afraid I'd snatch it back. Ethan watched his mom with tears in his eyes. I'd never seen him look so hopeful. Ruby, he whispered. This is the first time in 20 years I've seen her eat something fresh without guilt. I patted his hand. Don't get too excited. This is just the beginning. The real work starts tomorrow. After dinner, Ethan showed me to my room. It was a guest suite larger than my entire apartment, with a walk-in closet bigger than my bathroom. The bed was covered in silk sheets. The bathroom had a jacuzzi tub with gold fixtures. But the room was empty. No decorations, no personal touches. Just a cold, expensive space. Ethan stood in the doorway, looking awkward. My mom refused to let me furnish this room. She said it was a waste of money. She wanted to keep it empty, in case we ever needed to store more boxes. I laughed. Well, at least she's consistent. Ethan stepped closer. Ruby, I can't thank you enough. I know this is all fake, that you're just doing this for the money. But seeing her actually enjoy that meal tonight, it means more to me than I can say. I looked at him. He was handsome, in that clean-cut, CEO kind of way. Dark hair, piercing blue eyes, a jawline that could cut glass. And he was genuinely kind, even if he was manipulative enough to hire a fake girlfriend. I wasn't supposed to catch feelings. This was a job, a $5 million gig. But something about the way he looked at his mom, the desperation in his voice when he talked about her, it made my cold little heart flutter just a bit. Ethan, I said, this isn't fake. Not entirely. I do want to help your mom. And I do think you're a good person. He reached out, touching my face. His fingers were warm. Ruby, I know you're not actually Mr. Stone's daughter. I did my research before I hired you. Your mom was a waitress. Your dad left when you were 3. You grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with your mom and 2 siblings. I froze. How did he know that? I pulled back. You investigated me? Ethan looked guilty. I had to make sure you were who you said you were. But Ruby, that's not why I hired you. I hired you because of your reputation. Because I heard about how you handled that roommate in college. How you shut down that coworker who hit on you. I needed someone with that kind of confidence. That kind of backbone. And I found you. I stared at him. He'd known all along. He'd known I was faking being rich. And he'd played along anyway. Why didn't you say anything? Because it didn't matter, he said. The backstory was just a tool to get my mom to listen. What matters is that you're here. That you're helping her. And Ruby, I don't care if you're not actually rich. You're still the most impressive woman I've ever met. My heart did a little flip. Damn it. This was not part of the plan. I cleared my throat. Well, good night, Ethan. I need my beauty sleep. Being this fabulous takes a lot of energy. He smiled. Good night, Ruby. Sweet dreams. I closed the door, leaning against it for a moment. This was dangerous. I was starting to like him. And that could complicate everything. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of something burning. I threw on a silk robe and followed the smell to the kitchen. Linda was standing at the stove, stirring a pot of something that looked like toxic sludge. Good morning, I said. What are you making? Linda jumped. Oh, Ruby, you're up. I'm making breakfast. It's just some leftover porridge from 3 days ago. I added some water to stretch it. I wrinkled my nose. Linda, that smells like death. Throw it out. Linda looked horrified. But it's perfectly good food. I can't waste it. I walked over, grabbed the pot, and dumped the contents straight into the sink. Linda gasped. That was breakfast. Now it's toxic waste, I said. We're going out for breakfast. Ethan walked in, rubbing sleep from his eyes. What's going on? Your mother was trying to poison us with 3-day-old porridge. I said, get dressed. We're going to that French place downtown. The one with the Michelin star. Linda's eyes widened. A Michelin star? But that's so expensive. We can't afford that. I looked at her. Linda, your son runs a multi-billion-dollar company. He can afford a Michelin star breakfast. But I don't want him to spend money on me, she insisted. I'm just an old woman. I don't deserve such fancy things. I slammed my hand on the counter. Linda, stop it. Just stop. You deserve to eat fresh food. You deserve to wear nice clothes. You deserve to live in a clean house. You deserve to be happy. Linda stared at me, tears welling in her eyes. No one has ever said that to me before. Everyone always told me I was selfish for wanting nice things, that I should be grateful for what I have. I took her hand. Linda, poverty is not a virtue. It's a circumstance. And you're not in that circumstance anymore. Your son worked hard to give you a better life. Let him. Let yourself enjoy it. Linda started crying. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to be any other way. I've been poor for so long. I don't remember what it's like to not worry about money. I hugged her. It's okay. We'll figure it out together. Ethan watched us, tears streaming down his face. He came over and wrapped us both in his arms. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you so much. After breakfast, which Linda actually enjoyed despite her initial protests, we went shopping. I took Linda to the most expensive stores in the city. At first, she resisted every purchase. This is too much. I can't accept this. I don't need this. But I was relentless. Linda, you're going to wear this dress. And you're going to look amazing in it. Linda, you're going to use these creams. And your skin is going to glow. Linda, you're going to carry this bag. And you're going to feel like a queen. By the end of the day, Linda was exhausted but smiling. She was wearing a designer dress, carrying a leather bag worth more than my car, her face glowing from the expensive skincare products. I look like a different person, she said, staring at her reflection in the store window. You look like a millionaire's mom, I said. Because that's what you are. That night, Ethan's extended family came over for Christmas dinner. His aunt, uncle, and cousins, all of whom had been critical of him for forgetting his roots and abandoning his family. They walked into the house, expecting to find Linda in her usual rags, the house full of junk. Instead, they found Linda in a designer dress, the house spotless, a gourmet meal prepared by a private chef. They stood in the entryway, mouths open. What is this?" his aunt stammered. Linda smiled. "This is my new life," she said. "This is what my son has given me, and I'm finally learning to accept it." His uncle scoffed. "You've changed, Linda. You've forgotten where you came from. You've become one of them." Linda's smile faded. "I haven't forgotten anything," she said. "I remember the trailer park. I remember the hunger. I remember the shame. But I also remember that I worked hard to get out of there. And my son worked even harder. We don't owe anyone an apology for our success." The room went silent. I'd never heard Linda speak like that before. Ethan's aunt and uncle exchanged glances. "Well," they said awkwardly, "this is nice." Dinner was tense. The relatives kept making snide comments about how we were showing off, how we'd lost touch with reality. But Linda stood her ground. She defended her son, defended their success, defended their right to enjoy what they'd earned. After dinner, Ethan's cousins cornered me in the kitchen. So, one of them said, "You're the fake girlfriend, right? The one Ethan hired to fix his mom?" I froze. "How did they know?" "We know everything," another cousin said. "Ethan told our parents. They told us. We all know you're not actually rich. We all know this is just a job." I crossed my arms. "So what? So what?" The first cousin laughed. "You think you're so special. So much better than everyone else. But you're just a hired gun. A mercenary. You're not actually part of this family. You never will be." I looked at them. They were jealous. Jealous of the money. Jealous of the success. Jealous that Ethan had chosen me to help his mom. I smiled. "You're right," I said. "I'm not part of this family. I'm just doing a job. But here's the thing. I'm doing a better job of loving Linda than any of you ever have. You judge her. You criticize her. You make her feel guilty for wanting nice things. But I'm helping her. I'm teaching her that she deserves to be happy. And at the end of the day, that's what family is supposed to do." The cousins went silent. I walked past them. Back to the dining room. Ethan was waiting for me. "Everything okay?" he asked. "Fine," I said. "Just your cousins being jealous." He laughed. "They're always jealous. They've been jealous of me since we were kids." I looked at him. "Ethan, why did you tell them about me? About the arrangement?" He sighed. "I didn't want to lie to them. And I knew they'd find out anyway. Ruby, I don't care what they think. I care about what you think. About me. About us." My heart skipped a beat. "Us?" I asked. He took my hand. "Ruby, I know this started as a business arrangement. But somewhere along the way, it became something more. At least for me." I looked at him. I felt the same way. I'd been fighting it, telling myself it was just a job, just a paycheck. But the truth was, I'd fallen for him. Hard. "Ethan," I said, "I feel the same way." His face lit up. "Really?" "Yes. But I'm still getting my $5 million. He laughed. "Deal." The next few days were a whirlwind. We took Linda to the spa, to the theater, to expensive restaurants. We bought her a new car, a new wardrobe, a whole new life. And slowly, Linda began to change. She stopped hoarding. She stopped eating expired food. She stopped apologizing for existing. She started smiling. She started laughing. She started living. On New Year's Eve, Ethan took me to the roof of his building. The city lights stretched out below us, a sea of glittering stars. "Ruby," he said, "I have something to ask you." My heart raced. "What?" He got down on one knee. "Ruby, will you marry me?" I stared at him. This wasn't part of the plan. This wasn't in the contract. But as I looked at him, saw the love in his eyes, I knew I wanted this. I wanted him. I wanted this life. Yes, I said. Yes, I'll marry you. He slipped a ring on my finger. It was massive, a diamond the size of a walnut. Ethan, this is too much, I said. Nothing is too much for you, he said. You saved my mom. You saved me. You saved our family. I deserve nothing less than to give you everything. We kissed, the city lights twinkling below us. The next morning, we told Linda the news. She cried happy tears, hugging both of us. I'm so happy for you, she said. I'm so happy you found each other. Ethan looked at her. Mom, there's something else. We want you to move in with us. To our new house. Linda's eyes widened. Your new house? Ethan nodded. I bought it. It's a mansion. Even bigger than this one. With a guest wing just for you. And staff to help with whatever you need. Linda shook her head. I can't accept that. It's too much. I looked at her. Linda, you deserve this. You deserve to live in a beautiful home. You deserve to be taken care of. You've spent your whole life taking care of everyone else. Now it's time for someone to take care of you. Linda started crying again. I don't know what I did to deserve you too, she said. You didn't have to do anything, I said. You just had to be you. And that's enough. The wedding was a month later. It was the event of the year, covered by every major magazine and newspaper. Linda walked Ethan down the aisle, looking radiant in a designer gown. I wore a dress worth more than most people's houses, a diamond tiara in my hair. But the best part was seeing Linda. She was smiling, truly smiling, for the first time in years. After the wedding, we moved into the new mansion. Linda had her own wing, complete with a private garden, a personal chef, and a staff to attend to her every need. At first, she resisted. I don't need all this, she insisted. This is too much. But we insisted back. Linda, this is your home, I said. You're not a guest. You're family. And family takes care of each other. Slowly, Linda settled into her new life. She started hosting dinner parties, inviting her old friends from the trailer park. She started volunteering at a local charity, helping other women who were struggling to escape poverty. She started living. Really living. One day, I found her in her garden, tending to her roses. She looked happy, at peace. Ruby, she said. Can I talk to you? Of course, I said. I sat down next to her. Ruby, I want to thank you, she said. For everything. You saved me. You saved my son. You saved our family. I don't know how to repay you. I smiled. You don't need to repay me, Linda. Just be happy. That's all I ever wanted. Linda took my hand. Ruby, I know this started as a job. I know Ethan hired you to fix me. But somewhere along the way, it became real. You became family. And I love you like a daughter. I felt tears in my eyes. I love you too, Linda. Like a mother. We hugged, the sun warming our faces. Life was good. Better than good. It was perfect. But of course, nothing stays perfect forever. A few months later, Ethan's company ran into trouble. A competitor had launched a smear campaign, accusing Ethan of fraud and embezzlement. The stock price plummeted. Investors pulled out. The media went wild. Ethan was devastated. He worked around the clock, trying to save his company. But it wasn't enough. The board of directors voted to remove him as CEO. He was out. Overnight, we went from billionaires to multimillionaires. Still incredibly wealthy, but not as rich as before. The media had a field day. The fall of Ethan Stone. They called it. From rags to riches and back again. Ethan was depressed. He spent days in his office, staring at the walls. I tried to help, tried to support him, but he pushed me away. I failed, he said. I failed my mom. I failed you. I failed everyone. One night, I found Linda sitting in the kitchen, staring at a box of old crackers. Linda, I said, what are you doing? She looked up at me. I'm going back to my old ways, she said. If we're poor again, I need to be prepared. I need to save everything. I took the box from her. Linda, we're not poor, I said. We're still rich. We still have more money than most people will ever see. But what if we lose it all? she asked. What if we end up back in the trailer park? Then we'll deal with it, I said. But we're not there yet. And we're not going back there. Not if I have anything to say about it. I called a meeting. Ethan, Linda, and me. We sat around the dining room table. The same table where we'd had that first Christmas dinner. Okay, I said. We have a problem. Ethan lost his company. The media is tearing us apart. We're scared. But we're not defeated. I looked at Ethan. Ethan, you built that company from nothing. You can do it again. I looked at Linda. Linda, you survived poverty. You survived hunger. You survived shame. You can survive this too. I looked at both of them. We're a family. And families stick together. We're going to get through this. Together. Ethan looked at me. How? He asked. How do we fix this? I smiled. We fight back. We launch a counterattack. We show the world who we really are. I pulled out a plan I'd been working on. A PR strategy. A legal strategy. A business strategy. We're going to sue for defamation. We're going to launch a new company. We're going to tell our story. Our real story. Not the fake one the media is telling. Ethan looked at the plan. His eyes lit up. This could work, he said. This could actually work. Linda looked at us. I want to help, she said. What can I do? I smiled. Linda, you can tell your story. You can talk about growing up poor. About the struggles you faced. About how hard Ethan worked to give you a better life. You can show people that success isn't about luck. It's about hard work. About sacrifice. About love. Linda nodded. I can do that, she said. I can do that. The next few months were a blur. We worked around the clock, fighting back against this smear campaign. Linda gave interviews, telling her story with honesty and grace. Ethan launched a new company, focusing on ethical business practices. I managed the PR, controlling the narrative, shaping the story. Slowly, the tide turned. The public started to see us differently, not as villains, but as survivors. As a family fighting against injustice. Ethan's new company took off. It was even more successful than his first one. The stock price soared. The media praised us. We were back on top. But this time, it felt different. We weren't just rich. We were respected. We were admired. We were a family. One night, Ethan and I were sitting on the balcony, watching the sunset. Ruby, he said, I never thanked you properly for everything you did during the crisis. You saved us. Again. I smiled. I didn't save you, I said. We saved each other. He took my hand. Ruby, I've been thinking about the future, about our family. What about it? I want us to have kids, he said. I want us to raise them the way you were raised. With confidence. With self-worth. With the knowledge that they're the prize. I looked at him. Are you sure? I mean, kids are a lot of work. He laughed. I know. But I think we'd be good parents. And I think our kids would be amazing. I thought about it. About having a family. About raising children with Ethan. About teaching them the lessons my mother taught me. Act like you're the prize. Never lower your price tag. But also, be kind. Be generous. Love deeply. Yes, I said. Let's have kids. He hugged me. I love you, Ruby. I love you too, Ethan. 2 years later, we had twins. A boy and a girl. We named them Ruby Jr. and Ethan Jr. Linda was over the moon. She spoiled them rotten, buying them everything they wanted. But she also taught them important lessons. About hard work. About gratitude. About family. As they grew, I watched them become confident, kind, amazing people. They knew their worth. They knew they were the prize. But they also knew how to love. How to give. How to be happy. One day, I found Linda sitting in the garden, watching the twins play. She looked content. At peace. Ruby, she said. I never thought I'd be this happy. I never thought I'd have this life. I sat down next to her. You deserve it, Linda. You deserve every bit of it. She smiled. I know. Thanks to you. I smiled back. No, Linda. Thanks to you. For teaching me that family is worth fighting for. That love is worth fighting for. That happiness is worth fighting for. We sat there, watching the twins play, enjoying the beautiful day. Life was good. Better than good. It was perfect. And I knew, as long as we had each other, it always would be the end. Or maybe just the beginning.